on new people. And you get your first credit.
Okay, so speed us up then. So you get your first job, you're 19, and so how's that progression get, again, because I don't even know if you explained this to me, of how you get to like Daredevil in a short period of time.
Well, the way it would work would be you get a lot of people just get their first job at Gold Key Comics. Because, well, they publish things like Turok, Son of Stone, and various other titles that didn't really, survive that long. And they mostly had sort of burned out old guys doing these pretty lame comics. So you could get a gig there and cut your teeth, and then you could maybe have a sample of that and get work at DC Comics doing stuff.
So that was a grade up. So that would be kind of a promotion then at that point.
Even then, back then, DC was doing little short pieces that they trusted the beginner to work on.
Yeah.
And so here I crawled along doing Twilight Zone comics and stuff like that, and then got little short, weird war tales and so on like that. And then, I started getting requested by people, and they offered me a title that I would be the artist on.
And what was that? What was the first title that you got offered?
Claw the Unconquered.
Claw the Unconquered. No, so Claw is like Conan, right? For those of you who don't know, it's like sort of the DC version of Conan.
Yeah, you can complete your collection easily.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I went over to Marvel Comics, which is the place to be back then, and talked to their new editor-in-chief, who was Jim Shooter. And I said, I just got offered my first regular work. And Shooter said, well, he said, I don't think you're good enough to get a regular title here. And I don't think you're fast enough. All I can do is give you my word, I'll keep you busy. Fine. And so I was kept busy with little short jobs and then single issues of stuff, and learned fast. And one of the jobs I got was a 2-part Peter Parker, Spider-Man,
Yeah.
with guest star Daredevil in it.
Yeah.
And
you guys know that? Yeah. Okay, good.
Anyway,
we got hardcore fans in here. That's good.
Anyway, I did that, and the character I dug was Daredevil, who I'd never paid that much attention to as a fan. But I just thought the idea of a blind guy was cool, and essentially when the great old artist Gene Colan ran screaming off of Daredevil after doing it for 2,000 years, I just went wrong.
So do you think, let me ask you a question then, with what you just said about Jim Shooter, who was editor-in-chief, and I knew Jim too, because we ran into each other. So do you think that you got Daredevil because it was bi-monthly at that point? He thought you weren't fast, so he goes, we can give it to Frank, because he's got 2 months instead of 1 month. Right? No, so you're, I'm trying to figure out now. So Daredevil was monthly, you would have never drawn fucking Daredevil. That's not sliding door right now. Wow. That's cool. Okay, continue.
Anyway, then I traveled 40 times. And I picked up some tricks from top to bottom. And one of them was get that writing job. Because I had so many story ideas, and one of my main ideas was I said, I wanna go back to what Mortal Kombat used to be, which is, we was sure you got a nice big fat amount of action in each issue. But you were in epic. You know, as far as I was concerned, I was gonna do 2-parters or 3-parters. The whole thing was just gonna be one goddamn monstrosity of a story. and then I started reading Spider-Man villains. Because Jared's villains, come on. The Owl. and so I would, and